Hello, everyone. This is Sandeep once again, and I have some thoughts to express today, and it's all related to the just concluded Summer Olympics at Paris 2024. It has been another successful edition of the Olympics with some stunning performance across many sports. Uh, to be frank, as far as India is concerned, we have won six medals, which is like one silver from Neeraj Chopra and five bronze medals. There's one silver medal where against which case has been registered, a plea has been registered by Vinesh Fogart, and we all are aware of it. And probably today there might be some kind of announcement from the Court of Arbitration for Sports, the CAS, and let's see if things work out and maybe you might get a silver medal. But anyways, what it would reflect is that India will not be able to cross that magical, or I mean, I'll not say magical, but a figure that India would have wished this time would have happened, that is at the 10 medal mark, which we have not done in our history in the Olympics. It has been a checkered history for India in the Olympics. It has been something which we cannot say we're totally proud of, but things have improved, and there are a lot of learnings from this Olympics. And yes, it is very important to do a lot of post-mortem, lot of analysis where we have gone wrong, and there might be accusation that the athletes are not doing enough, or the government is not doing enough, the federations are not doing enough. But if we look at a lot of things that the other countries have done, we can learn a lot from them. One A is the number of participation. I think India needs to have more athletes qualifying for the Olympics. We had 107 athletes this time, and to be frank, there were only very few medal prospects. Neeraj Chopra definitely was the number one medal prospect. Satwik and Chirag, they disappointed. They were definitely a strong contender for the doubles goal in badminton, but they had one bad match and they were out. Even Lakshya Sen, even though he was a surprise package, I would say, because he was coming back from injury and was not ranked in the top 10 in badminton, but yet he went very close to beating Victor Axelsen, and then even he was a set up in the bronze medal match, but he could not complete that match. In fact, we had six finishes where we were number four. So, in fact, if we add those finishes, if we had converted them into podium finishes, we would have ended with 12 medals. Six medals we have already won, and six fourth position finishes. But Olympics is all about winning medals. You don't reward people who are in the fourth, fifth, or sixth. And in fact, if you see, other countries have benefited by having more number of athletes participating. For example, Germany, they have won around 40 odd medals. They have around 12, 13 gold, 12, 13 silver, but they had almost around 80 odd athletes in the fourth to almost seventh position. So they have a number of athletes from their country participating across various sports, and yes, they could not win in all the participating sports, but they gave a strong fight to win a medal. Whereas India, they participated in around 16 sports, and they were, as I said, they were medal contenders in very few categories. So one thing the Indian, Olympic Association, the Sports Federation, the Sports Authority of India, even the government of India, they must take into account that we need to spread the participation of athletes across sports, and we have to invest in sports like probably swimming, which has got number of categories. We have to invest in sports like wrestling, which again has got number of categories. Sports like weightlifting with only Mirabai Chanu. In fact, I was very surprised not to see Jeremy Lalring Nunga, the young weightlifter from Mizoram. He was absent. He was India's first youth Olympic gold medalist in 2018 Buenos Aires. He had won the weightlifting gold there, and in fact he had won the weightlifting gold in the 2022 Commonwealth Games, but he was not a participant in this particular Olympics. In fact, he has not made his Olympic debut as yet. There was some issue with regarding his fitness, some disciplinary issues. Well, let's not go deep into it, but we missed out another medal prospect probably if Germany would have participated. And there were many instances where we came close in archery, we came close in shooting. So we need to now identify certain sports, because if you see countries like Uzbekistan, which won around I think six or seven, if I think eight goals maybe, they focus primarily on boxing, they focus primarily on wrestling. These are the sports that have been traditionally good. So they focused in sending maximum of their athletes to these sports, and they really did well. So either we focus on certain sports and say that okay, these are the sports that will really focus upon, develop the infrastructure, uh, create number of talent in this particular category of sports, and maybe we can create more medal winners. That's the most important point right now. India has to have more number of participants in the Olympics. We cannot have 117 athletes as a 1.4 billion nation. Yes, population is our strength. Population might also be a weakness, because it's very difficult to find out talents in a large country. You might say why New Zealand is doing well, why Denmark is doing well, why Netherlands is doing well. You also have to remember they are small countries. Their talent pool might be very limited, so it's very easy to identify amongst a lesser group of people the best performers in a sport. So and give them the best kind of support. It's primarily very difficult for a country like us, but that cannot be an excuse. You need to scientifically work out some methods, and that's where I'll be coming for how we can develop that infrastructure and develop that ecosystem of identifying champions who can go and win medals for a country in the Olympics. Now I'll just say about those things a bit later in the video. But there's another controversy that was being created in the media, which is related to the cricket and the cricketers getting more attention. And we are a cricket mad country where we are too focused on cricket and not focusing on other sports. I think that is totally rubbish, and that is totally nonsensical stuff. We cannot just say that cricket, because of cricket we are not winning medals in Olympics. No, cricket had its long journey towards glory. Cricket today that we are seeing is not what cricket was in India, even I would say 40 years back. In Indian cricket started in 1932, to be historically correct. It was in 1932 when India played its first test match. The first test victory for India came in 1952. The first test series they won in home was in 1952. The first test series they won abroad was overseas was in New Zealand in 1967-68. So I'm just giving you a timeline of events that happened in cricket where India step by step went up. 1971 we was a glorious year. We won a test series in West Indies, we won a test series in England. 1983 was the first year we won a World Cup, a ODI World Cup, and in 2007 we won the first T20I World Cup. So it has been a journey over a period of time where, after a lot of struggles, there have been instances we have heard where cricketers were had no sponsors, nothing. They had very little remuneration. They had no scope in terms of you know having a good life post cricket, as we see nowadays. It's not like that. It was not something like that even around the time in the 1980s. In fact, in 1991, when the South African tour the South African toured the Indian subcontinent after their ban was lifted, the apartheid ban was lifted. The South African cricket board, Ali Bakar, had offered BCCI a lot of money to telecast the sport, the cricket series that was going to take place in India, in South Africa. BCCI had never had that kind of offer before. Then BCCI realized about media rights, about earning money by showing broadcasting cricket. And now we know that how BCCI is earning big time from the IPL through sponsorship, through media rights, through selling tickets in the stadium, to by developing the infrastructure across the country. So what BCCI's journey has been is not something that has happened overnight. It has been something, if I calculate from 1932 to 2024, almost a 92-year-old journey. That's how long it has been. So we have to give that importance to the journey and just not creep or say that we are a cricket mad country and we are focused on cricket more. Cricket has achieved a level because of its hard work. Now every other sports federation, every other sports must have that kind of journey. They must create their own legacy. They must create their own media following, their fan following. They must create their own champions, because if you have champions in a sport, then only people will like to follow. Now hockey was a great story for us in the initial years, when he used to win Olympic goals like anything. Every time we went to the Olympics, for the initial 4 to 6, I think 6 odd Olympics, we won consecutively gold medals. That's the kind of record we had from hockey. But it went below other countries for a period of time, and now it's again raising its head because of the infrastructure development, thankfully, because of the state of Orissa and a lot other states like Punjab and Haryana. So we have to understand that every sport has to be developed by developing the infrastructure and developing champions. If we create more wins in a sport, people will follow a sport. People follow a sport because they like to see their country, or they like to see their team winning. If a team is not winning, if a country is not winning in a particular sport, I must say, I'm afraid you lose interest in that sport. And that is what we have to do. We have won in other sports. We won Thomas Cup in 2022, which is probably the best competition in badminton. We did not get the level of it did not get the level of attention, but that's just one Thomas Cup. Now just imagine if India keeps on winning more Thomas Cup, more Uber Cups, more world championships. Indian athletes go and perform like Neeraj Chopra has done in javelin, across other track and field events. Attention will definitely be there. Media will start focusing on those champions, and the right media focus will happen. Now most important thing is to, when I talk about infrastructure development, is to focus on the schools, colleges, and universities of our country. If you see other countries like the United States of America, UK, or even Australia, who are doing so well in sports, we say that they have got a great sports culture, but how that sports culture has developed, because they give importance to academics, they give importance to sports right from the schooling stage. Every school, every college, every university in these countries, and even countries like China and other European countries, have got great infrastructure. I personally, when I went to Brisbane, I saw in their universities having Olympic sized swimming pools. Large swimming pools that we see in the Olympics are present in universities. So at once the students are exposed to the kind of world class infrastructure which an Olympian is used to practice. And so when you get that kind of exposure, definitely there is a tremendous development if you have got the talent. So talent is there, you have to provide support to the talent, you have to nurture the talent. In fact, Sunil Chetri, the famous footballer from India, had said this thing, that we do not know how to nurture talent. We need to nurture talent, and that is why I was talking about this infrastructure development from school levels. How many schools have got playgrounds? How many schools have got a PT teacher? A PT teacher is basically there to check school uniforms, to check whether the student is coming late to the class, or sometimes the PT class is just for a 30-60 minutes exercise for a week, and sometimes even the class doesn't happen. There's some other teacher coming in doing a science class or a maths class or a physics class instead of the PT class. That's the level of stereotype we have created for physical education or sports in our school. So it's from the school everything will start. If champion starts emerging from every school, just like we have got brilliant students in exams, when there's a class 10 exam or a class 12 exam, we say that, oh, he's from this particular school, or he's from this particular college. We should also identify the sporting talents that are emerging from each and every school. As a result, what will happen is that we can earmark that, okay, these are the students who have done well in this particular sport from these schools. And then you create a pathway for those students to not only pursue their academics, but they also pursue the sports that they have been able to excel in. Most of the students, they leave a sports because they see that there is no future in that sport. They are not getting the right training support, right coaching support, and they are seeing that, okay, students who have left sports but are pursuing studies are going to end up in a better position in life than them, because and that is why they leave that sport. We need to change all these things. If a person is good in sports and he has been able to get some honor and you know prestige for the schools or the universities or the colleges, secure that, give him security that okay, if you do well in sports, you will get scholarships, your education will be taken care by us, you don't have to worry for a degree, you don't have to worry for a good job, a secure job, you just focus on your sports. And that's what will really help. Lovely professional university from Jalandhar has done something like that. They have been able to send number of students who have passed out from their college or are still studying in their college or pursuing some graduation course in their college, uh, to the Olympics. This time they have said the 24 athletes from LPU have gone to the Olympics. So even I went to Punjab and saw the Punjab Agriculture University having some tremendous infrastructure. If I talk about Assam, we don't have that kind of infrastructure in our universities. We don't have track and field, you know, set up in universities where people can practice 100 meters, 400 meters hurdles. There are volleyball courts, but not in great condition. There might be a cricket ground, there might be a football ground, but whether they have got a world class infrastructure, whether they have got world class swimming pools or table tennis courts or badminton courts, I'm not very sure. Even if we have, are they in very good condition? Are there instructors to teach the students or guide the students or find out talents amongst them? Those kind of changes have to be done. And if this kind of changes happen, then definitely there will be changes in the entire sporting landscape of our country. And Punjab, Haryana, Orissa, their stories are really remarkable, and they have done really well in terms of finding out people who are not from great background, maybe economically very poor, but they have been superb in sports. They've been winning medals for a country. If these states can do it, I am sure every state can do it. It is all about the planning process, about how we identify these talents from the school level, how we give them the infrastructure to succeed in sports. I would say please integrate sports with studies. There should be marks for sports. I mean, just like we have marks in every, or grades in every subject, we should have grades, passing grades for sports. I mean, if a person is not physically fit enough, why should that person be even promoted? I mean, that's the important thing. There should be a qualification criteria that you have to get X number of grade, or X grade, or a Z grade in particular overall sports. Then only, along with your academic marks, you will be counted as a promoted student. Those kind of changes can be done, those kind of policies can be made. New education policy has been formulated by the government of India, but whether sports is a part of it, or what kind of policies are there for sports along with education, I'm not very sure. A great success story is the NCAA of USA. They have been producing number of athletes, for the Olympics from the college level. They organize number of events. They've been there from 1906, and athletes like Michael Phelps, Venus Williams have profited from the NCAA program of the United States of America. So, with this thought, I will just say that please develop sports infrastructure in school. Please create an ecosystem where sports can grow. Every sports can grow along with academics, and that way we will be definitely sending more number of people as medal prospects to the Olympics, and that will enhance our chances of winning more medals in the Olympics. Thank you so much.